So let's go over how to import multiple boards, artboards, into an InDesign composition. So just real quick to reiterate, so InDesign's really great at managing multiple files from, different formats and multiple pages. So if you're importing lots of text, they could be photographs, they could be graphics, and in this case, we're going to import our letter forms and our abstractions that we did in the previous tutorial. So I have a template that we're going to use, so we don't necessarily have to start from scratch. So I'm going to open, and then we're going to go ahead and navigate to where the thing is saved. There we go. So it's called the Project One Figure Ground Collection. I'm going to click Open. And you'll notice that already it kind of looks different than Adobe Illustrator. So now that we're operating in Page World, there's actually a Page tab over here. And you can see how many pages we have. Right now we only have 2 in the whole entire composition. We have our title sheet here, which you can go ahead and change your name. So, change your name, change your section if that's what's necessary. For the most part, that thing is done. And then we have this here. So the way InDesign works is you can create boxes, like normal boxes that you would in Illustrator. These are kind of graphical boxes. You can give them color. They can serve as kind of graphical elements or wayfinding device throughout your document. But there's also this kind of box here. This is called the rectangle frame tool. And this is really meant to be a placeholder for an image that you want to place inside the document. So this here on this page is just waiting for you to plop something in there. And in our case, that's going to be our letter form. So I'm not gonna add, 40 pages, but you can easily just duplicate this spread. So I duplicated it once. If I grab 2 pages and I click duplicate, it's going to duplicate it times 2. So now I got 4. Same logic. Now I've duplicated up to 8 pages after the title sheet. 9 in total. Okay, so we've got enough kind of examples in order to get the point across. So let's go ahead and click Control D, which is a short key for place. If you don't like short keys, you can find this under File and Place, but I do like short keys, so I'm going to hit Control D. And then I'm going to navigate to where my figure ground relationships are saved, which is this AI file. It's really important to realize that if I just go ahead and click Open, that it's only really going to give me the option to insert one file. So if I click it and I drop it in this artboard, it's only giving me 1 out of my 40 boards. So I think the natural inclination is to create multiple InDesign files because it's only going to give you 1 drop. But that's not the right method. So let's go back. I hit Control D to open up the Place menu. And let's click their file. But this time, let's click Show Import Options. Notice that when we do that, it's going to give us options now when we import our file. So not only is it going to give us access to all of our pages by clicking Range, but it can also give you access to your letters, or your layers, excuse me. And this comes in handy when you're doing, multiple layers, really complex kind of graphical things. So we're going to click Range. And because I only have 8 artboards, or 8 pages, I'm only going to do 8 artboards as an example. And then the other thing, I think by default, the default is set to previewed page up here, which we changed the range. By default, the crop to is changed to bounding box. The bounding box is essentially, if we go back to this Illustrator file here, it's this blue thing. Okay, that's the bounding box. The frustrating thing is that you're considering your composition to be everything inside of that artboard, not the bounding box. So we need to change that. We need to change it to the media. And now we're telling the file, look, I actually want you to crop everything from the artboard. Bring it all in, the way I have it. And transparent background means that it's not going to be a white background, it's just going to be a clear, nothing kind of background. If you're trying to find specific compositions, you could scroll through here and find it. So that's a nice handy tool. I'm going to click OK. And now that I click OK, it gives me these compositions right here. It's asking me to click it. Luckily, we have this nice placeholder. If I just click left click, it's going to drop it in. And for some reason that didn't work, so let's just place it, try it again. Let's go to my range. Let's try it. There we go. Range 1 through 7. Well, let's go 2 through 7, 2 through 7, 2 through 8. Click OK. And now it should just allow us to drop all of these letters into the composition. Ta-da! And that was actually really fast and really easy. The annoying thing is that when these compositions come in, do you remember how we only chose to do a 2" by 2" artboard? So I'm going to go ahead and double click into this composition, and you'll see that this kind of brown yellowish box is the size of the artboard that got imported. So there's a few ways you can resize it to what you want it. You can just grab the corners here and scale it up. That. I find that to be probably the most tedious method. The second method, see how this one's small again, is to right click, and then after right clicking, you come down to fitting, and then you go fit content proportionally, and then it fits automatically. The quickest way to do it is to use short keys. So you click it, and the short key we're going to use is this one, Control-Alt-Shift-E. Control-Alt-Shift-E, and then it just sizes up, and I can just kind of do that as I come down the composition. So once you do that, and you do that 40 times, you have all of the sheets that you need. And then I would just go through and I would delete out, depending on what this composition is. This is a letter form. I'll just delete out abstract form. And if you have a term that you were inspired by, you can put it there. So in order to save this as a multi-page document, you go up to File, you go to Export, and then there's two different kinds of PDFs. There's a print PDF and there's an interactive PDF. Why would you use one versus the other? Interactive PDF is going to be good if you're doing a digital presentation, one with links, one with videos, one with kind of smart things inside of the document. So that's when you're going to use interactive. You're going to use print when you're trying to print it out on a printer. Pretty self-explanatory there. And you can navigate it to where you want it. I'm just going to click Save. And then this also can feel pretty overwhelming. There's a lot of options, general compression, marks, bleeds, output. You can just leave it as it is. And up here, I mean, if you want to get into it, you can customize it, but they have some presets. Now, this is Adobe who's gone through and has, with their experts and decided like different printing qualities. Generally, when I'm printing a document to a PDF, and it's just going to be kind of a dumb document, no cool links, nothing, I go with 2008. And what this does is it's going to flatten all of the layers in the document into just kind of a dumb document, and then it's going to make your file compression really nice and small, which is great because, save hard drive or cloud space. And I'm going to click export. And then that's going to save, and by default, if we go to that where we saved it to, we can open it up and you'll see it. Here it is. Let's open it up, and ta-da! We have our multi-page document ready to go, ready to print out. Looks wonderful.